What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Salty Nerd Late Night Edition. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being in the chat already. He says the first chat right here, home. I should be in bed, but I'm here. I agree with you. I should also be in bed.
I think that might be Anima.
It might be. It might be. She's all the way in Croatia. It's like 6 a.m. for her. It's crazy. I'm joined as always by some cool people. Conspiracy Tom is here. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
What's up, man? I got a new shirt for the.
I see that. I support the current thing.
Yeah,
that is
represent.
Great.
Yeah, whatever's the most popular thing, that's what I'm supporting.
I love seeing Elon Musk fanboys in this. Great. I love it. I'm also joined by the writer, science fiction writer himself, Matthew Kadish. Welcome, sir.
I am ready to talk about one of my favorite things, which is time travel. But before we get going, I just want to let everyone know that we are only 50 subs away from the 5,000 mark.
That's
and
true.
We really appreciate it if you guys helped us get over that hump there.
Blast that out on whatever social media app you use. Twitter is cool. Instagram works. Whatever it is, let people know that we are so close to 5K. That would really... We'd appreciate the heck out of that. Get us to that mile marker. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, Vader's already planning our celebration stream.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping in my mind's eye, I'm imagining like a 24-hour live stream with like all of our guests that we've had on before, like Hewlett and Charlie Allen and freaking Hoon Lee, and they all come hang out with us. But that's not going to happen. But maybe. I don't know.
I actually just want Vader to drink a whole glass of absinthe.
Oh God! Don't put that out there, man. Don't put out that.
He just goes down that hole for like just staring at the camera for an hour.
Just the camera, just straight on, nothing
just
else.
Like
no audio.
Yeah, it's like a flop sweat, like dilated pupils. Just
occasionally he'll just look up and be like what's with the plant?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great plant. That plant was the best character in the movie. All right, so tonight's topic, guys, is the new Amazon Prime original series starring Josh Brolin, everybody's second favorite Goonie, in Outer Range. It's like a sci-fi version of Yellowstone. It's very interesting. I have full breakdowns for both episodes that are available now, so heavy spoilers moving forward. We will be talking about every single scene in this show. So that being said, we need to get going because I only have an hour to do this, and these episodes are pretty thick. So
it's a shame because this is like a show that you can obsess over.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wish I had more time. Honestly, if we weren't doing Halo, which kind of isn't that great, I wish we were doing something like this. All right, so the first episode 1 of Outer Range. Start off with a voiceover of Josh Brolin's Royal Abbot talking about the Greek god Kronos and how he used his sickle to rip a hole in our reality. Then we see Royal Abbot shirtless in a dark field throwing what looks like a body into a hole. Suddenly a bright light shines on him as he looks back in surprise. Smash cut to 3 days earlier. Royal is in bed and begins to wake up for his daily chores around the ranch. As he checks his herd from a distance, he hears a loud noise that seems to startle him and his cattle. Dun, dun, dun. The audio in this freaking show is intense, and like the cinematography and just the sound design just freaks me out, dude. It's got that really weird kind of like, I don't know, ancient aliens type shit going on.
Yeah, I love that like unknown noise. You know,
yes.
It's like you can't place the sound. You don't know what that noise is.
It's so strange
it's an
and
alien
creepy.
Noise, right? It's like an alien noise. Like, what is it? Yeah.
Joey, I saw it, but only one question before I tiptoe around it. Is it woke? What do you guys think? General thoughts. Is it woke? I don't think it is.
I haven't seen anything.
I've seen nothing.
It's so the guy who created this show, his name's Brian Watkins. This is his first ever TV show. But he comes from theater, so like he's a playwright, and he was like a Juilliard graduate, stuff like that. And you can tell that the show is really focused on the story and these characters as opposed to political messaging.
Yeah.
But it's like a Montana or a Wyoming cattle family, and it's kind of like their focus on it. The story focuses on them, and they're just out in the middle of nowhere. So there's really no opportunity to be woke in this thing, at least so far. But it's just been a straightforward Western sci-fi story so far.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen anything, although it's only 2 episodes in, so who knows what happens later. But so far, nothing yet.
Yeah, but they have strong female characters, strong male characters. It's not gender biased. It's not. Like you said, it's like Yellowstone with a sci-fi twist.
Mhm.
So it's along the same path. Yeah, they're not taking the Hollywood left angle on it. It's for that reason it is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no politics in it so far.
Nah,
So far, none. Back home, the family, Cecilia Abbott, Rhett Abbott, Perry Abbott, and his daughter, Amy Abbott, are getting ready for Sunday church. Royal seemingly has missed 2 hours of his day, or his watch is just broken, one of the two. At church, while the rest of the people are singing, Royal seems disinterested, sitting in the back. Later on, Amy brings him a painting she made of the family, including her missing mother, Rachel Abbott. Later that night, Rhett Abbott is at the local rodeo, prepping to ride the town's ranked bulls. He fails to reach his target time and does not qualify to progress. While the family gets ready for bed, Cecilia tells Amy the story of how she met Royal and how he ran away from his home and showed up at the ranch one day, and her family took him in. While Royal checks on the barn, he hears that same low, creepy grumble again. Across the valley, fellow ranch owner Wayne Tillerson senses something and touches what seems to be a meteor, or maybe it's just a paperweight, we can't really tell. Then he proceeds to talk to his stuffed buffalo head in the most creepy way possible. And then he calls the Abbott home with an ominous message that something is happening. Dude, this freaking actor destroyed this scene. He was so freaking creepy. God. He's a super famous guy. He's been in a ton of movies. He's one of those character actors that just shows up in everything. Katie, you remember his name? It starts with a P, I think. It's
Will Patton.
Will Patton.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene where he's like grumbling to himself and looking out his window, and then he like turns around and starts talking to the buffalo. Like,
well, his character Wayne Tillerson, so he's like the neighbor of the ranch that Josh Brolin runs. And he's like super successful, super rich, and he's sick and he's dying. Mm-hmm. And this is our first introduction to him. And he calls up the wife of Josh Brolin, Lily Taylor, who plays Cecilia Abbott.
Yeah, yep.
And he just starts saying like, "Can you feel it? Can you sense it?"
Yeah, there's something happening.
Yeah. She's like, "Are you drunk?" And he's like, "No,
nope." Real quick, Tom, I can hear you breathing through your. Can you move your microphone down a little bit?
Can you stop breathing, Tom?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll never be able to use this on audio. All right. Anyway, he stole like that scene alone, just the way he talks and that like real low grumble, and he's like talking to the freaking bullhead. He's like, "You feel it too, don't you, old girl?" or whatever. And it's like, whoa.
So there's a buffalo that shows up later on in the episode.
I'm getting there.
Are we waiting to talk about that?
Yeah. I got the full breakdown of the entire episode. So the next day, hippie camper Autumn. Just by the way, this actress's name is Imogen Poots, and it's an amazing name. Walks to the ranch land and asks to go camping. After offering to pay to camp, Royal agrees to send her off to the west pasture. Royal heads out to find some missing cows that Rhett and Perry noticed were not in the herd. While out, the Tillerson boys confront Royal on their property lines being a mile on the Abbott side and plan to sue to get their land back. Abbott says screw it and continues on his own to find the missing cattle. There he finds the void, an endless black hole. He sticks his hand in it, and it seems to see flashes of his home and his wife. And he freaks out and then walks away. As he's heading home, the sheriff's car is in front of him, or in front of their house, and Abbott has a severe, Royal has a severe case of deja vu, as he sees the exact thing he saw earlier happen in real time. What do you guys think about the reveal of this whole situation where the Tillersons are claiming that the Abbotts have almost a mile of land that is supposed to be the Tillersons? So it's like this Wayne character that we talked about a little bit ago. He's like this ultra wealthy neighboring ranch owner who is now kind of like leveraging his wealth and redrawing the property lines, trying to steal land from the Abbotts. So that it's kind of like bringing in that family, you know, the rich family versus the poor family, and you know, they're kind of stuck behind a rock and a hard place. They can't really do anything, and they can't afford to do anything. And then out of his frustration, he goes off on his land and he finds this void. And what do you guys think about this scene where he's kind of exploring what the void is?
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm just sensing so much foreshadowing in the show. It's like because it's time travel, right? We find out it's time travel eventually, and that'll be episode 2. So spoiler alert. Sorry about that. But yeah, so a lot of this is foreshadowing, and I have a strong feeling that the wife is aware of the phenomenon from the past. I have a strong feeling that the rich neighbor is familiar with the phenomenon. I think that the hippie chick is the daughter grown up. You know that so there's a lot of weird and then they allude to Royal doesn't remember his childhood. So I think he came through the void as a child, and so every time all the weird stuff, and I just love time travel because you can play with it so much. So I'm loving the foreshadowing in episode 1, because episode 1 is so confusing.
It's all set up.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense because time travel doesn't make any sense, and you have to sit there and watch it to have it make any sense. So it's one of those things where they're doing a good job setting it up, and they're not taking shortcuts on things. And I think the foreshadowing is really fun. So after watching both episodes, the foreshadowing is paying off, and I'm looking forward to where it's going. So I'm loving the foreshadow.
What's up, Salty Texas? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you in the chat, man. Outer Range rocks. I'm glad you're watching it too. That's cool. I'm probably going to be covering the show episode by episode. So if you're watching it with us, man, you might hop on next week.
We should send Salty a join link if he wants to hop on.
Oh yeah, do you want to hop on right now, bud? You got time? Let us know in the comments. I'll shoot you a link real quick. Go ahead, Kadish. What did you think about this? The void.
So the interesting part about this is that eventually we find out that what's his name, Will Patton's character Tillerson. So you know that thing that he was holding.
Looked like a meteor. It might be. Yeah.
So we find out in episode 2 that he's been employing prospectors for rare earth minerals, right? So that thing that he's holding is probably some type of rare earth mineral that's creating the void hole property. And when he senses this thing, so the day after he calls up, Lily Taylor and says, like, can you feel it, or like whatever, his sons come out and say, like, oh, you're on, like, we own 600 acres of your property. And basically it's Tillerson's, and they specifically say that he has a bug up his butt about, pressing his property rights, because this went on for generations, no problem. So basically he knows that there's something out there on their land that he wants. And so this is his move to get it. And the flash, like when Brolin sticks his hand into the void, he has a vision of the immediate future. So like once he gets home, the exact scene that he saw from the void hole plays out, which gives us our first sense here that like this void thing is
avoid void hole. That's avoid that.
The void. It's just this episode is titled The Void, so it's just kind of that's just kind of what I called it.
Well, the prevailing theory here is that this is a wormhole of some type, and that's probably like the whole time travel thing. Yeah. But so it sets up that it's a pathway to the future. If you notice, a lot of this stuff, like there's no backwards travel in time yet, but right now it seems to be going forward in time.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here. All right. So once he gets back to his home, he sees the sheriff's cars out front, and then he has that kind of deja vu moment where what he saw from the void is happening in real time as home. He sees his wife standing there in the kitchen and stuff like that. The sheriff explains to the Abbott family that the FBI will no longer be prioritizing the search for Perry's wife, Rachel Abbott, because she has been missing for 9 months. The next morning, Royal heads back to the void and runs some quick experiments to see what happens when you throw shit in it. The answer? Nothing. It just disappears. This frustrates Royal, and he screams at the hole. Suddenly, a buffalo appears with 2 Native American-looking arrows in its back. This scene was, I don't know if it was intentionally funny, but I kind of cracked up at this because he's sitting there and he's like, at first he uses a shovel and he starts throwing some dirt in there. And he's like, oh, I wonder what'll happen. And then he gets like this huge freaking tarp and he tries to like throw the tarp in there or put a tarp
he tries
over
to
it.
cover the hole.
Yeah, and it falls in and it just disappears. And then he gets like really, really upset and he starts freaking out and stuff. So I don't know. I just kind of thought it was kind of funny. It was a humorous moment. But
it's dark humor. It's like rage and you can see like the monkey man inside of him. Like he doesn't know what this thing is, so he's pokes it with the stick and he throws dirt at it, and then he gets mad and it's real a funny scene. Yeah.
Backyard TARDIS, what's up, man? It's good to see you here. He says, so no dinosaurs then. Well, dinosaurs can, as far as we know right now, it's things that come from the past and are going to the future. Because this buffalo, this brings up a good question. So the buffalo that he runs into, like I said, it has 2 arrows in its back, but those arrows look very Native American. And I'm wondering if that buffalo came through the void from the past.
For sure.
Because maybe it was being hunted on this land and it falls through the void while it's being hunted.
Well, if you notice, whenever Josh Brolin goes through, the void, if you go through the void, you tend to appear just next to it on the ground, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like you don't fall out of the sky and hit the ground or anything like that. You just kind of appear. And that's what happened with the buffalo, where all of a sudden it was there. And so, when he's talking about the 2 lost cows and the missing daughter-in-law, you get the sense that maybe they fell into a void hole like this. Void like this, and just appeared somewhere. So like this buffalo is definitely from the past,
right?
Just showing up. But one of the things I wanted to point out is that the same buffalo as the head that's mounted on Tillerson's wall that he was talking to?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I definitely think it's connected. But it could be like in the void comes and goes. So maybe, there were buffalo at the time, and that's why Tillerson is kind of aware of the event. He's like, oh, this and that's why he's talking to the buffalo, and he's like, it's happening again.
I remember you. Yeah. So this is interesting. Salty says those are early 19th century arrows. I keep waiting for the white buffalo. White buffalo. White buffalo. That's interesting. Early 19th century.
Time travel movie.
When I was watching this scene,
that's one of the best time.
Is that time? What is that?
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine. That's
Cadence, right. Shut up, man.
Hold on. I want
to. What is it? It's like resoundingly the worst time travel movie of all time.
It follows its own rules.
Oh,
technically.
Hey, you just need Russian energy drinks and an electrical surge to travel through time. That's all you need.
Yep. Fantastic.
Anyway, so
21 gigawatts.
Yeah,
and
we're talking about Stargate Atlantis, and they're tonight, and they're trying to get this lightning bolt to strike the city, and I keep thinking, I'm like 1.21 gigawatts. All right, let's see. Royal heads off to okay, so here we go. So the next morning goes to the void. Okay, Royal heads off to check on Hippie Autumn. He warns her to stay close to her camp and don't explore too far because she is alone, and if anything happens to her, nobody will know.
Can we just call her Poots?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess we can call her Poots. I liked Hippie Autumn, but yeah, whatever.
Hippie Poots.
Hippie Poots. That evening, the Abbott brothers go to drink their sorrows away at the local watering hole. The Tillerson boys are also there. Perry, distraught about his wife's disappearance, drunkenly picks a fight with Trevor Tillerson. Rhett steps in to protect his brother, but after he leaves to get the truck, Perry finishes the fight and kills Trevor, leaving the belt buckle behind. What do you guys think about this? This was and it's another one of those like really dark kind of family dynamic moments where they're drinking. The brother's like upset because his wife's been missing, and he just learned that the FBI wasn't going to be looking for her anymore. The other brother is drinking because he lost his qualification thing for the rodeo, so they're both bummed out. And it seems to be like the only watering hole in town, so the Tillerson brothers are also there. But yeah, this whole kind of thing played out. It was pretty predictable. You could see what was going to happen like a mile away. You're like, okay, here's these two families who kind of like hate each other, and now all the young hotheads are drunk and they get into this fight. What do you guys think about this scene? Kadish, go ahead.
So this is where the Yellowstone stuff comes into play, where you have like these family dramas. It's very Hatfield and McCoy type thing, where you have these two feuding families, and this murder is really the thing that kind of kicks off the tension and the drama in the show. So like they spent the first half of the episode setting up this weird void hole, and now they have a murder that they have to cover up, and so this is going to lead to increased tensions with the Tillersons, and also kind of bring in the law in future episodes. And so you're going to have this stuff where Royal has to deal with protecting his family from this crime that they committed, but also deal with like the time travel stuff. And I guarantee you at some point he's going to have to figure out how to time travel in order to fix something that went horribly, horribly wrong. So this was kind of necessary, but it's the inciting action. It's the thing that kind of kicks off the story, the broader story.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too surprised that it happened, but I was interested in seeing like how it played out.
Yeah. Same here.
Plus, that guy was a jackass. He kind of
the Tillersons are terrible. They're terrible people. Tom, go ahead. What did you think about this whole setup for the fight and the murder and stuff?
When I watched the fight, I couldn't tell who won the fight, the first fist fight, because it was kind of dark, and I don't know the characters too well. It's still early on in the show, and I thought that the Tillerson kid won, and that's why he knocked on the table when he walked by. It's like, yeah, I kicked that dude's ass, and then the brother starts beating the crap out of him. I'm like, is he killing his brother right now? So it took me a minute to figure it out. So I was a little confused just because it was so early on in like a dark scene. So that's my only take on it. I personally was very confused.
Oh, I love nerds. Joey in the chat says, "Tip off the buffalo running from hunters that hit that void at 88 miles per hour."
Yeah, it's like flaming hoof prints.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens after. Okay, so the murder happens. Trevor Tillerson is the one who gets killed. Perry is the one who kills him. Rhett sees this and quickly acts by taking the body to the ranch. So Rhett, the brother, goes off and gets the truck. He comes back and he sees that Perry has killed this guy. They real quick throw him in the back of the truck and head home. On the way home, they run across the same buffalo with those same two arrows in the road. Dun, dun, dun. When the boys get home, Royal finds them with a dead Trevor Tillerson in the back of their truck and is forced to either help dispose of the body or see both of his sons go to jail. Royal plans the disposal while he sends Perry home to be with his daughter and stay out of trouble. Rhett helps get rid of some more evidence linking Perry to the murder. The remaining Tillerson brothers head to the Abbott farm and confront Perry about their missing brother and see activity in the field and chase down whatever or whoever they think it is. Royal takes the body to the void, but is caught by hippie Poot, and she creepily talks about Kronos for a bit and then pushes Royal into the void. And that is the end of the first episode. This was a pretty big cliffhanger. I'm glad they released 2 episodes because I was like, what the? Like, it was a big event. Like, the murder, the cover-up, the Tillersons are there, the pressure's on, the clock is ticking, and then he goes to this void, he throws the body in, you think it's all done, and you get this bright white flash, which is what we see at the very, very beginning of this episode, is we're kind of like catching up to the events here, and Autumn is there saying some creepy stuff. Like, I don't know what it is about this actress. Like, she does phenomenal in the scene, but she weirds the shit out of me. Like, I watch her and I'm like, it's real weird, man. What'd you guys think about this?
It's the eyes, man.
It's the eyes. Yeah, dude.
The scariest, most intense blue eyes.
Yeah.
And it makes her look ghostly, right? Like she's very ethereal. So it's like, it's almost like she's not a real person, and she commits this, like, what you think is an act of violence in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of an experiment than an act of violence because she's curious, you know, because she's like, he lived. No shit.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
Yeah. In the next episode, she's real shocked that Abbott's spoiler alert. But
so,
go ahead,
when she first comes on the scene and she asks, like, is this the Abbott farm or like whatever?
Mm-hmm.
When she first meets Royal, she's like, "Nice to finally meet you," as if like she knew about him beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the end of episode 2. So there's a scene where, like, basically, at the end of this episode, she pushes Abbott into the void, and she's there in the future when he emerges, right? So the idea here is like, is the the Poots that we meet here from the future? Like, did she travel back in time, and she knows about like how the void works, or is she like just this like hippie chick with the what do you call it, the trust fund, who somehow knows about this void, and just pushed him in because she knows that he has to go into the future or something like that.
Yeah,
it's very interesting to think about like the layers that are being set up here.
Whoa, look who's joined us. I love your name. I didn't watch this show. All right, man. You just sit there in the corner and shut up then. Look pretty.
That's what I'm planning on.
Later, we're talking about time travel.
Oh, did they put up the rules before at the beginning of the show so you wouldn't get all angry and stuff?
No,
we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. But
that's part of the mystery of the show. Which is
I'll tell you what, though. By the end of this season, if this show doesn't exactly match its own rules, Katie's just going to freaking destroy it. I can't wait.
I will. I will.
I know you will. So every Monday night, guys, for breakdowns of the episodes, come here on at 9 o'clock. All right.
I'm telling you, the hippie is the daughter grown up, and they have sold the ranch, and that's why she's rich, because they sold the ranch.
That's know.
Why she says you take $6 million for it, wouldn't you?
Why would she? Why would she say it's nice to finally meet you if that was her grandfather? Because she was what, 7 or 8 in this, living there with them.
Also, dude, my spiral of nonsense for this show has gone deep. It's like because I think Royal's from the future. And I think as a child he fell in, and that's why they found him on the ranch. That is the literal story. Is we just found him on the ranch. You didn't know where the hell he was at, and then we raised him, and I married him.
The coconut disagrees with you.
It doesn't matter if you disagree. It's a theory.
Also, there's an element here where you have to wonder, like, once you time travel, do you remember things? Because like at a certain point, like when Royal shows up as a kid, he doesn't remember anything before he showed up. And then when he goes back and has that deja vu sense, it's like he doesn't remember what he saw when he put his hand in the void.
Right.
And then when he comes back at the beginning of the next episode, he acts like he doesn't know what just happened until we see the flashback, So the question is like, if you do try time travel, are you able to retain the memory of what you experienced when you were traveling through time?
Yeah.
So it's kind of mind bending.
Yeah, Autumn also, I think it's in this episode shown a little bit, and it's explained in the second episode, but she keeps drawing basically what looks like the Abbott family brand, but just like tilted 90 degrees sideways. So, and she keeps saying stuff like, "Oh, this is something that I've seen all my life," or she says that in the next episode, which we'll get to right now. Let's just go, hey, well, look at that super sticker. What's up, Coconut? Thank you so much for the $1.50. Appreciate it.
It also looks like the Half-Life logo. So so
it does.
It also looks like a forward button, like if you hit a fast forward button on a VCR.
Oh my God!
The arrow.
Maybe I think you just figured out like the secret crux of the show.
Tom,
you push the play button.
Tom, the chat has debunked your theory about Autumn being the daughter of. It doesn't make any sense because she's the same age.
It's time travel. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's only 2 years in the future.
Yeah, because Mrs. Abbott says you've been dead for 2 years. When we'll get to it. Let's talk about the second episode because we're talking about it already. But episode 2.
Did anybody read my name? Conspiracy, Tom.
A
lot of crap that I say is probably not true.
Yeah, it's probably bullshit. The Tillerson brothers head back to the Abbott home after searching the nearby field, and Cecilia Abbott pulls the mom card and sends them packing. Around dawn,
that was great.
It was amazing. Oh, that was a great scene because she they're banging on the door. One of them's got a gun. And she opens it. She's like, "What are you two doing out here? Oh my God, look at you!" She licks her thumb and rubs dirt off one kid's face.
She's like, "Tell me you did not run through my gates." They're just like,
"I'm waiting for an apology."
Sorry, Miss Abbott. Sorry, Miss Abbott. Yeah. My bad. She's like, "Get out of here before you get yourself into trouble." And they're like, "Okay, Miss Abbott. Sorry." It was amazing.
Great. Strong female characters, strong male characters. Have a good show. You know what I'm saying?
It was the greatest mom moment I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right. Around dawn, Royal Abbott wakes up in a field alone, except for the buffalo with 2 arrows. It's raining, and he's confused. He finds his horse and gets home. When he gets home, the Abbotts have a family meeting about what to do about Trevor. Royal explains that they will do nothing, and nobody speaks of the last night's events. Mama Abbott patches up a gunshot wound on Papa Abbott's leg. Royal explains it was a lucky shot that the Tillersons didn't know what or where they were shooting at. I said that wrong, but whatever. You get the point. So this gunshot wound is something that this is something that comes up later where he actually got it.
What was interesting is when that was playing out, I kept racking my brain. I was like, did they find him and shoot at him? Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I thought I blacked out and because he was running through the field when he tore the shirt off, and I'm like, were they shooting at him?
I didn't hear any gunshots. What the heck is this gun wound coming from?
I like how he totally tells the truth. Just straight up tells the truth.
So I was like, I must have missed something.
Yeah, exactly. But it pops up later. We find out why. Let's see. All right. Sheriff Joy, which is I guess this is, okay, if you want to like really nitpick about whatever, this is the female lesbian sheriff of Wyoming. So there's your box check if you're upset about that kind of stuff. Sheriff Joy heads out to town after getting a call from the Tillersons about Trevor. Once she gets to the Tillerson ranch, Luke Tillerson hands her the belt buckle. Joy explains that she can't work with little to no evidence, and Luke passively aggressively threatens to use his family's wealth and influence to prevent her from getting elected as full-time sheriff. Joy says she will keep an eye out for him as this is not the first time he has gone on a binge and not come home. Rhett Abbott heads to a local diner and invites his high school crush, Maria, to lunch. They flirt and sparks fly, fun things happen. Maria informs Rhett that the bull rider who beat him in the rodeo was tested for drugs and is disqualified from progressing, and Rhett is now in the finals. This is news to Rhett because he had a really busy night of murder to deal with. Cecilia Abbott finds out about the lawsuit against their family about the land that the Tillersons are suing suing them for. And Royal takes Perry into town to speak with the lawyer about it. On the way, Royal has a heart-to-heart with his obviously distraught and screwed-up son. He assures him that it was just an accident, but Perry stops believing in accidents after his wife has disappeared. And there's a long, awkward silence on the way to the lawyer's office. The lawyer basically tells the Abbott boys that they are completely screwed because the Tillersons have paid off a county surveyor to take advantage of some old-ass maps that put the Tillerson boundaries within the Abbott land. Royal refuses to just roll over and tells Perry you do not trust a Tillerson. So I went through a lot there. Is there anything in that there that you guys want to talk about specifically? This is a lot of setup for what's going on in within the family drama and the land dispute and stuff like that.
I mean, if you look at the map, it just looked like it was folded funny. And they were like, where's the line? Like, right there. And then the fact that the lawyer, he just rolls over and says, I don't want to fight this one.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
He's just there chomping on his pipe.
Yeah, it is weird. Like I said, the foreshadowing in the show is fantastic. So I'm guessing in episode 3 or 4, that's going to just really play out more. So it's like a let's see and wait kind of show. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good bit. There are a lot of like information dump, exposition dumps, and just like it's just a lot of build up for these first 2 episodes because I think they're going to hit the ground running in episode 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow burn series for sure. But the thing I like about it is like, so you have shows like Halo, for instance, which would work better if it was a binge model where like we could just like get past like the setup episodes and get to like the meat and see how it fits into the overall thing. With a show like this, you can do the slow week release and like sit there and pick it apart and like theorize about it and stuff like that. So this show actually lends itself to a more kind of like drawn out viewing experience.
A long format. Yeah.
Jude's like, I hate watching Halo. Yeah, I'm like, oh god, this episode was such a drag. Real quick, I want to say howdy to Rogue Disney. What's up, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Rogue is here. Nice.
Right on. All right, let's see. Outer range, outer space. Got to be a little green Zeus's. All right, so let's see what happens next. Royal heads to the Tillerson ranch to confront Wayne Tillerson. Once there, he sees Luke looking like a pissed-off rich kid and his brother singing in his tighty-whities for God knows what reason.
That was the weirdest thing.
This is the weird. It's like weirder than an Ed Sheeran music video. It was the oddest thing. I don't know what I looked at. It was uncomfortable.
That guy was in on himself, man. He was like in the mirror, like getting all up and grooving, and it like zooms out and he's just completely in his tighty whities in his giant bedroom, just singing to himself in the mirror. Super weird. I don't know why they added that. Like, what kind of foreshadowing is that for in this time travel movie?
you know what's weird to me? I have not worn tidy whities my entire life.
Yeah.
And every time I see like Breaking Bad or something, they're always in tidy whities. I'm like,
I don't.
Who's buying these things? What
I don't
was
know.
the market? I don't get it.
I don't know who's buying them, but they are always on sale at Target. Always.
Is it a Target thing? That's what it is.
Guess. I
Like
don't
your
know.
wife goes to Target and like, here, I got these for you.
I wouldn't wear them.
I think you want to wear them if you ride horses at any point, though, right?
I'm
No?
a boxer
No.
briefs guy. It's the best of
No.
both worlds.
I don't know what Jude's trying to say here. If I don't have you. Oh, was that him singing? I can't remember what he was singing. He was singing some weird ass freaking country song. So I'm guessing. So if you guys notice that same brother, which I don't remember what his name is, but that same brother, when we go back to episode 1 and they meet
Billy.
at the, is it Billy?
Yeah,
They
Billy's
meet
the
at
weird
the
one.
at the property line. He's the one that stays on his 4-wheeler and is just like singing to himself, driving around in circles. Like this dude seems like the one who's completely checked out, doesn't care about his family. His brain is on one thing, which apparently is to be a country singer, I guess. Well, we don't get a lot of information on him except for he wears tidy whities, which was TMI. All right, so Wayne and Royal confront each other. Wayne explains he wants the West Pasture and only the West Pasture
This
for
was
the
a
simple
great-
reason. What's that?
This was a great scene.
Yeah, this was amazing.
Yes.
For the only reason that this only simple reason is because he wants it, and that's it. Abbott finds this strange, considering he offers a much nicer South Pasture, and Wayne doesn't bite. Wayne Tillerson then goes on to talk about his weird porn collection or something, and it gets really, really weird for a few minutes while this actor just chews up this whole scene. Kate, can you break this down for me? Because I kind of was like, why is he talking about his old porn collection? Is there something here that I'm missing?
So it wasn't a porn collection. It was like a collection of like erotic paintings, right, and photographs. And basically it was stuff that was things that intrigued him, like he didn't know could be done, right? The limits of human desire and experience.
He was
And
trying to find
like,
something that made his heartbeat, right?
Yeah. He was like basically trying to chase down a feeling that he had. And I believe it's that feeling that he had in the first episode where like he sensed something, and that's what he was, almost like a drug addict trying to chase down his next fix.
Right.
And when he realized that the erotic stuff couldn't do it for him, he turned his attention elsewhere. And you know, like the fact that he is dying and like, you know, he has like these medical issues, it's probably motivating him to move quickly. And I think that he might even have some type of plan, like if he has like the time travel ability, he might be able to go back and prevent his disease or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the like Brolin plays things so like cool and close to the vest, and Tillerson is just like you know, like just a, you know, badass, like just kind of, you know, like I don't give a fuck what you think, I don't give a fuck what you say, like this is what I'm doing.
I do like that Brolin was able to play that mental game of chess and ask him specific questions, and he specifically offered him the South Pasture to see if he would bite, and he didn't. So he knows there, it's not just because it's a land dispute or something that's like they said, that the land has been in the Abbott family for like 3 generations, for over 100 years. Nobody's ever said anything about this. Why now, and why that specific area?
We also have to realize that the version of Royal that we're seeing in this scene has come back from a future that we see at the end of this episode. So he knows what happens to that land. At least we think we do. You know, like we're not sure if he actually remembers, you know, the time travel or not. But if he remembers that, okay, then he knows why Tillerson wants that land, and it's because of that void.
I'm gonna adjust the chat real quick, and then I'll let you ask a question. Hold on. I think he knows about the void, and he knows Royal knows. He called the Abbott house to rant about it. Yeah, he's like, something's happening, or you know, he made that weird phone call that night. So yeah, there seems to be like who's withholding what. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on between Tillerson and Abbott. Okay, Vader, what's your question?
Who wins in a fight, Josh Brolin or Papa Yellowstone?
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin or Kevin Costner?
Or Kevin Costner. Yeah.
Thanos or Robin Hood? I'm going with Thanos.
How about if Rip was involved?
Good night, Jude. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Team Rip. Is this Yellowstone with sci-fi elements.
Yeah, it's nerdy Yellowstone for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
I like how none of you addressed the Clamato juice.
I was gonna say,
yes.
Who the hell drinks Clamato on their deathbed?
It's funny because Royal is like, "Can I have some iced tea?" And they just give him a strange look, and he's like, "I'll have what he's having."
Clamato.
Is it like a family thing? Did the whole family drink this stuff? No, I don't even know what it is.
It's tomato juice mixed with clam juice.
That's
Canadians
disgusting.
drink it. It's
That's disgusting.
disgusting.
It's disgusing. Mix it with beer. It's supposed to mix it with beer.
You mix it with beer. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, Brolin doesn't even drink the stuff. Like,
he
one sip and he's
he takes a sip and he's like, "This is disgusting." And then after they have like that back and forth, then he takes a big gulp and he says, "Thanks for the juice," and then he puts it down.
Thanks for the clam juice.
Yeah, thanks for the clam juice, and
he
then walks
like
away.
A gangster.
Yeah, he does. Of course, he
drinks
does.
it. He looks him right in the eye. He's like, "You old dying bastard! I'm gonna drink this shit that you gave me, and I'm gonna put it down."
Silver scale. What are you thinking, sir? No. You can't drink that stuff. That just sounds gross.
In this scene, he also
like a bag of salt. It's gross.
In this scene, he also found the business card for the rare earth mineral prospecting.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of pays off at the end, where basically we see that there's like a billion different oil rigs on the land surrounding the sinkhole.
We got a bunch of people who apparently know what this drink is and have had it before. I can't imagine.
I'll drink beer with regular tomato juice. It's actually pretty good, but not with
clam juice. Not with clam juice.
Hell no.
I don't like that either. That's gross too.
All right. In the next scene, it says Amy Abbott heads out for a hike and runs into Hippie Poon. Or is it? What is it? What's her last name?
Poots.
Poots. Hippie Poots.
Do you say Hippie Poon?
Hippie Poon. Hippie Poots. And together they find what looks like
a gaping void in the Hippie Poon. This is one hell of a conversation.
The void hole in the hippie
void hole
and the Hippie Poon.
Yeah.
Together they find what looks like an old cave painting on the side of a mountain that looks very familiar, almost like the Abbott family brand, just sideways. Autumn says she's seen this symbol her entire life and gets real weird for a second. At the next family dinner, Royal freaks the hell out and explains how much he hates God and he's going to move his cows to a new pasture ahead of schedule. The family shrugs. What's up?
I was going to say the dinner prayer scene was probably the best scene in the entire show.
Oh, Brolin.
Dude,
Brolin,
Josh Brolin he plays the heavy like no one else, man. That dude is so like intense. I would hate to fight that man. Like,
dude, he
is terrifying.
He starts like shaking just out of like pure rage, and it's all directed towards like because his daughter-in-law I guess disappears.
Can you name a bad role of his? Can you name a bad role?
If I were God, I'd be scared.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I don't want to piss off Josh Brolin.
Yeah, but he nails that scene, dude. Because all it is just it's him on camera. That's it. There's no music. There's no nothing. It's just purely Josh Brolin just doing his thing.
Yeah, and you can tell that the guy who created this show was a playwright because that type of soliloquy is just like straight off of a stage play.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the same thing. It was like that's one of those things that you see in acting school where they're like, "I'm going to do the monologue from Outer Range, season 1, episode 2." Fuck you, God!
I fucking hate you.
And then at the end he's like, "Pass the potatoes."
Yeah. Oh yes. And then almost like the scene cuts like immediately after that, so you don't have time to digest the humor of him saying, "Could you pass the potato?" Like immediately after that, it just cuts to a new scene. So you're just like left like, "What the heck did I just see?" It was an amazing scene. It was really, really good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
All right.
Best scene in the show.
Yeah.
So intense.
That night, Royal heads to his barn to check something out. You guys will have to inform me. I didn't catch what he was looking. He kept going to this drawer and like opening this thing and looking in. I wasn't sure if I missed something or if it was supposed to be a mystery. But anyway,
I don't think they reveal what was in there.
Okay. He is confronted by Autumn, who is surprised to see he made it back from the void. She says some more creepy stuff about Kronos, and Royal flashes back to what happened to him. His field with the void in it is surrounded by military and a ton of lights and what looks like an oil refinery. Royal sees his family and most of the town. His wife explains that he died 2 years ago, and she tells him to run. As he runs back into the void, getting grazed by a shot from Luke Tillerson, he jumps into the void and disappears. And now so this scene is what happens.
Did he jump back into the void? I thought he just ran away.
No, he jumped
No,
back
yeah,
into the
jumps
void.
back in.
So
That's the trippy thing. Yeah, he jumps back like.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you look at this scene chronologically, what happens is Autumn finds him throwing the body into the void. She talks to him. She pushes him into the void. He wakes up on the other side with the oil refinery and the military and the lights. His wife comes up. He's super confused. She says, "You've been dead for 2 years." And then she whispers to him,
I was with
"Run."
you when you died.
Yeah, run, get out of here. And he turns around, and as he's running back into the void, Luke shoots him, which is where he gets that bullet wound that we talked about earlier. And then he falls back in. And then if chronologically, if you're looking at this, the next scene would be him waking up in the field with the rain and him getting his horse and riding back home. So
there was also that clock, that countdown clock that was at 0 when he appeared.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So the people there were like expecting him to show up at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So like they somehow knew that he was going to be there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that. They do have a giant freaking clock up there, huh? Okay. So so we're assuming that in the future, 2 years in the future, the Tillersons must own that land. They're mining it for oil or whatever, because there's obviously some
rare earth minerals. I think.
Rare. Okay, so that's what I mine at work, by the way. So that whole process is in place, and there's like oil drills and all this other stuff in the background. But the void is surrounded by the military and a bunch of like spotlights and stuff.
Was it military or was it like private security?
See, because they were wearing like
going military.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which I guess
some Skinwalker Ranch stuff going on. Is that what's going on?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, there are elements of Skinwalker Ranch and this show called Dark, which deals with time travel as well.
So my question is like, so when Brolin wakes up in that area and his wife comes and says, "You've been dead for 2 years," Autumn is in the crowd. The Tillersons are all in the crowd. Like half the town is there along with the military. So I'm wondering, like, if the military have this thing locked down and they have it surrounded, why are they letting all these people in? Like
was it half the town? Because it seemed like it was just the workers.
You think it was just the workers?
Well, it was it was Mrs. Abbott, who's next door. It was the Tillersons who own the land. It was Poots, who has something to do with it, and then it was like the workers of the various rigs that were there and whatever military or security people were there. So it was kind of a strange mix. I wouldn't say it was the whole town.
Okay.
Because none of them seem to be in casual clothes or anything like that.
Well, I'm not playing it, but I have a still shot pulled up right now. Let me share my screen real quick. I think there was more than just workers there. I think that was actually.
You want my hot take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She directly says I was involved in a cult.
Yes, and then the cult is there. The yellow cult.
Yes,
that's right. Cult. Yes, you're right. Yeah,
he's from the future, man, for sure. We don't understand how this time travel works. It might bounce around erratically, but I almost guarantee this is the cult, the yellow. She's from the future for sure. She appears on the ranch. All that.
She seems to be in this scene. She seems to be the cult leader. Because she's wearing like white, she's got like the necklace on, and everybody else behind her is wearing yellow, which is something they mentioned earlier. Power. Where he's like, what makes, or does she ask him or does he ask her? What does the color yellow make you feel?
He asks her, and she says power.
Yeah, power. So she's the leader of this cult, who apparently all wear yellow.
I'm telling you.
Okay, yeah, that's really weird. So 2 years in the future, she is the leader of this cult. They all surround the void, along with.
He's been dead for 2 years. That doesn't mean it's been 2 years.
Okay, yeah, because he could live on for a few more years and then die, so it could be 5 years in the future. So, okay, yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, this is very interesting. This show definitely has me hooked. Like, I cannot wait for episode 3 to watch. I'm stoked about it. I can't wait to talk about it next week too. So, I mean, the show's doing its job. Good job, show.
So are you sure he went back into the void at the end? Because I could have sworn that he just ran off.
No, 100%. 100%. He jumped back in. 100%.
Sounds
so he gets shot by Luke. And we got Paint It Black as the music.
Yeah, good music in this show.
I like the Paint It Black. Yeah, that's fun.
So so here's the scene where he jumps in. You can't see his body, but he just jumped into it.
Gonna get copy strap.
I'm not playing it.
Here we go.
I'm not playing it. I'm just putting a still screen. Don't take me down, YouTube.
Amazon's usually pretty cool about things.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're saying nice things.
Yeah, the cult. Yeah, there's the cult right there. So, dude, I'm so stoked that other people were watching this show too, because I had no idea about it. I'd never seen anything on it. I just saw Josh Brolin in a cowboy hat, and I was like, I'm watching that. And
he looks good as a cowboy.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Badass cowboy.
I'm waiting for them to reboot Dark Tower and make it like a real series and put Josh Brolin in as Roland, and I'll just be so happy. I'll be very happy.
Did you hear him? He recently came out and talked about what he would have done if he had been cast as Batman instead of Ben Affleck.
What? Brolin as Batman?
Yeah, because he was in the running for Batman v Superman as Batman.
That's too much, man. That's too much.
Oh,
he was a great Cable. He was a great Thanos. He's been a great I can't think of a bad role.
He is pretty much great in everything, isn't he?
As a Dark Knight Returns older Bruce Wayne, I think he would have pulled it off. Because Ben Affleck looks too young. He doesn't look like an old grizzled Batman.
So for Dark Knight.
He doesn't bother me.
I like Ben Affleck as Batman. It was fine for me. But Brolin would have been interesting. Really interesting.
That would have been a weird take, man. Yeah. That would be one hard ass Batman.
But it would still be directed by Zack Snyder, Kadish, so you're not allowed to like it anyway.
I can like Zack Snyder. It's just he hasn't done anything good.
I still like the black and white. The black and white. The Snyder cut was good, man. The Snyder cut was good.
Don't bring that hate on us, bro. Come on.
I know, right?
That was my #1 movie last year. Come on.
Was it really?
Yeah, when we did our
that's right. Yeah. Didn't it win some? Didn't it win some stupid award or something like fan favorite award at the Oscars or whatnot?
I don't know.
Anyway,
it was a public poll that all the Snyder cultists.
It's rigged. All right, so that's it for episode 2. What are you guys' general thoughts, Tom, on this show? Are you hooked? Did it do its job?
Man, I love sci-fi more than pretty much anything, and I love cowboys. And this is like sci-fi. I'm like the one person who was like, Cowboys and Aliens wasn't that bad.
I like that movie. I like that movie.
Bad.
Yeah.
But no one liked the premise. It was too mixed up for them. So it's not as corny as that, but I love Josh Brolin. That dude is hard as nails. The guy that plays the Tillerson guy, that dude's hard as nails and everything. Mm-hmm. I love to see them button their heads and battle of wills. The time travel thing, they got me. They got me for a season. I really hope it stops at 1 season. I hope I don't get to watch like 4 seasons of this crap. But like, if they get like one good story arc, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it.
At least they didn't pull an invasion and have Brolin in for the first 20 minutes, and then that's it.
Oh God, can you imagine? I'd be so pissed.
That's what I thought they were gonna do.
Like executive decision, where they just like killed Steven Seagal in the first 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh man. So Kadish, as the sci-fi author, how do you feel about this show so far?
I think that these first 2 episodes are a very solid start to the series. I'm very intrigued. Set up the mystery, they set up the drama. There's a lot of moving parts already in the first 2 episodes of the show. I'm very fascinated to see how they're going to explain the void and how the time travel is going to work exactly. Mm-hmm. Like I said, one of the interesting things because most time travel stories are about traveling back to the past. In this one, they're going to the future. Like Brolin never went or saw anything from his past. It was always going forward.
Right.
That gives you some outs with time travel stuff, because like you can alter the future by being in the past, but like if you go in the past and screw things up that have already happened, then those creates paradoxes and stuff like that, and it can be very, very problematic. So it's interesting to see, like, they've obviously established that there's some type of travel back in time, because Brolin comes back after his jaunt to the future, and so there's something special about him, because Poots was amazed that he actually came back after she pushed him into that thing. So there's something like she has some background, and she also has a mysterious past where she can't remember her childhood, just like Brolin can't.
Real quick, I want to show the audience who this chick is. She's got a look to her, man. She looks like a cult leader.
She looks like a hippie.
She looks like a hippie.
He does.
That scene where she's doing that monologue and he's just like shining the flashlight like directly into her face, like, goodness gracious. I can't imagine like the way she was acting through that scene where she just obviously just has this super bright light shining right in her face.
Was it a really long monologue over every episode about how she just wants to be a a tough woman in the West, and how she like wants to go along and do all these,
Dude,
like
you're the only one who watches Yellowstone and
man.
spinoffs, man.
No, she kills a
that was
bird,
like
she's plucking it. Like, yeah, this chick's rough.
But that was kind of a flip of the end of episode 1, where she had the light on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it was like two sides of the same coin. It's like,
and he was,
rhymes.
it rhymes. Yeah, all right, George Lucas. Imogen Poot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an amazing name. I've never
Poots with an S.
Poots. That's right, Poots. I've never heard of any name even close to that. That's an incredible name. I wonder where she's from. Is it Imogen?
It's not Imogen.
It's not Imogen.
It's not a punctuation mark.
Imogen.
Imogen. I like that.
I don't know. I'm terrible with names. Anyway,
wasn't she on Yellowstone or something?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I read her bio when I was looking at the Amazon thing, and I can't. I think I'm mixing up characters, but I think she's the daughter of a filmmaker and a artist. Is what I think. Yeah.
Anyway, so this show it's creepy when it wants to be creepy. It's pretty intense a lot of the times, and it's got a really intriguing mystery with this time travel sci-fi aspect. I have to praise the cinematography is beautiful. The sound design is amazing. That low rumble when he's out in his field, like it's still, it just weirds you out. I don't know how they figured out how to make that into a sound, but they did it. And then Wayne Tillerson, that he's just such an amazing character. He was so fun to watch, and he's so creepy. And I hope that like we get a different version of him that's like maybe not sick. Like I'd like to see him at like full tilt. You know what I mean? Like he would be a lot of fun to watch.
Maybe we go into the past and get to see a younger version of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm going to be checking this show out, and I'm going to be covering it on Monday nights for the foreseeable future. I don't have any other interviews heading up until about June, and then I have a couple other ones lined up. So I'm going to be using this show as a SNP late night. So if you're watching it with us, head here Monday nights at 9 p.m. I will be here talking about this show with presumably Matthew Kadish and Tom if they're available. And maybe Vader will start watching it too, and you can put your 2 cents in as well.
I'm just gonna sit down here and be quiet.
Yeah, I want Vader to not watch it, and then like tell us what the show's about at the end of this, and be like, "Dude, did you get that?"
So like, you see this cowboy dude, right? He finds his hole in his pasture. And all the cows, they like fall into the hole. Yeah. You see, it's really cool.
That reminds me. There was something we didn't talk about, which is so the horses are scared of the void hole, right? Mm-hmm. But the cows seem attracted to it because when he was chasing down that cow, it was heading right for the void hole.
I'm attracted to void holes. I like a void hole when I see them.
I don't know, man. When I read that in the caption, I usually don't click on it.
Oh man, I have a question about that scene, Kadish, because when he runs off to go chase that young calf, his wife and his 2 sons are like, "Where the heck is he going?" And when they look at him from their perspective, they don't see a calf. I'm wondering if that was a hallucination or something, or like maybe he's the only one who could see it. I don't know what the deal with what that was, because it looked like from the way that scene was cut, when they were looking at him, they couldn't see it. But when they cut to his perspective, he was chasing it down. So I don't know. Am I the only one who got that? Am I looking at it differently?
Well, the thing is like he roped it, right? Like he was able to physically interact, so that thing was there. Yeah. So the question is, like why couldn't his wife and kids see the calf?
Okay.
Or was it just too small? Like
maybe.
We don't know. But the thing is we know that 2 cows are missing. Right.
Oh my God! 2
and the buffalo appeared. So yes. But the horse is immediately repelled by it.
Was it a white buffalo?
It doesn't want to get. No, it wasn't a great.
Oh, you missed that joke already. You turned it too late.
Joey says horses see in a different light spectrum. I need to Google that. I need to fact check that. That's the first I've ever heard.
I'm not gonna lie, Joey's been throwing like truth bombs and ideas. The entire pod, man. Like
that's very smart.
I keep looking over and I'm like, yeah, man, all right, yeah, spot on.
So what about the daughter-in-law? Do you think that she disappeared?
I think she fell through the
hole.
Well, yep. She's a witch.
I think she fell in the hole for sure.
She's a witch.
I met a witch this weekend, and I ate a buffalo steak this weekend. So,
do you think the daughter-in-law has something to do with Poots? Like, is she Poots' mother from like the past?
Dude,
That's
I'm
an interesting
you,
theory.
Yeah, Poots is connected to the family. She's from the future.
Maybe
I don't
she's
care if
her
the
own
timelines don't
grandmother.
match up. I'm telling you, that chick from the future, Brolin's from the future, but he was a little kid when he fell in the hole.
Right. I do believe that. That's a good
For
theory.
sure. Yeah,
I like
for
that.
sure.
So he's a young kid in the future sometime. He falls into this void. He shows up at the Abbott's farm as a young kid, confused, doesn't know where he's at, can't remember his past. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Michelle, horses have eyes on the both sides of their head. That's a good point. All right, everybody. That's it for tonight's live stream. Thank you all for being in the chat. It's super awesome. I love seeing all the interaction, and I'm glad we're not the only ones watching this show. So tune in every week. We're going to break down each episode. We'll be here Monday nights at 9 p.m. Next up, if you guys head over to our Discord, go to saltynerddiscord.com.
Time is it?
It's 10:04. Vader here is going to be hosting a live watch of Stargate Atlantis episode The Eye,
11.
Episode 11, The Eye, where Shepard goes on a John McClane Die Hard mission. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Shepard kills everyone.
Yes, he does. He's a
Well, I don't have to watch it now. Thanks, jerk. Man.
Do you have to say spoiler alert to an 18-year-old show?
No.
I know.
Yeah. No.
Super chat. Nice.
Oh my God, I'm getting fact checked about horses. Look at this blue sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love you guys. This is amazing. I'm gonna read that later. $5 super chat from Andre. What's up, dude? Welcome to the chat. Nothing. Doesn't say anything. Just drops $5. Here you go.
Here you
Boom.
go, man.
Dude,
Thank you.
It's like having 20 Jamies just like Googling shit for us the whole
I
time.
know, right? You bunch of simps. I love it. Thank you for the $5, Andre. Appreciate it, man. I hope to see you in the Discord app. So the Discord website's right here, guys. If you're not already a member, if you are, hop in. We'll give you a role. The watch party is free for anybody. So come on and join us watching Stargate. Tom, thanks for coming tonight. Appreciate it, man. I hope you can come here next week as well. Do you think you'll be able to do that?
Mondays are solid for me, bro.
Cool,
and
man.
this show, I'm going to be watching it anyway, so might as well come and talk about it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, Kadish, are you in for the long haul on this one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. I love Joe Rogan too.
Yeah.
Vader, are you going to watch this show, or are you going to?
Probably not. Got better things to do with my life.
No, I'm telling you, I want Vader to break it down at the end and tell us what he learned. I swear to God, that's pure comedy.
Are there any goats involved? Are there goats in the hole?
Ooh, not yet. Not yet.
Are they the kind that like you clap and they go and they fall over?
And they just fall over the fainting ghost?
He's not allowed to mention anything from Yellowstone because nobody's going to get those jokes.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get any of those jokes.
I would love to watch Yellowstone. I just feel like it's a big undertaking. I can't. I don't know.
I would like to announce that my wife and I finished the Gilded Age tonight, season 1. So that's what I was doing before I came here. That's our Monday night show, and now I have to find something else to watch with her. So,
all right, everybody.
Outer range.
Watch Outer Range together.
She, you guys know my wife. She doesn't do that science.
Yeah, but it's
bullshit.
not like super sci-fi though.
No, I think we're gonna watch that Los Angeles Lakers Magic Johnson show on HBO.
It's supposed to be good.
Yeah,
if she liked Yellowstone, she'd probably like this show.
Maybe.
I don't think she would.
I don't know, man.
Do you know my wife?
It gets weird fast, man. It gets weird fast.
Yeah.
All right, last announcement, guys. Tomorrow morning around 9:30 to 10 o'clock, we will be live on Twitter Spaces. Follow the account at salty_nerd, and we are going to be going live talking about Mission Impossible movies. So we'll be doing a lot of running like Tom Cruise and having a lot of fun and drinking some alcohol and having a good time. So head over there on Twitter and catch us live recording the podcast tomorrow morning.
I want to say viewing party at 10:20.
10:20. Okay, 10:20 for on Discord tonight.
That's about 12 minutes from now.
Okay, cool. Right on. 12 minutes, Discord, guys. Any final thoughts, Kadish or Tom? You guys good?
I'm excited for actually having a good time travel show that I can watch. So we'll see how it turns out.
I hope it gets bad just to piss him off.
I'd be so bummed.
I know.
I mean, it's no Star Trek Picard. So.
Oh God, I like just hearing you guys talk about that show.
That's our personal hell, bro.
Drives me insane. Anyway, Saturday mornings, if you want to talk about Star Trek, these guys will be doing it. I'm not involved. I don't want to watch that show.
Saturday mornings, 10 a.m.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate you. Catch you later. Stay salty. Next week, episode 3. Oh, hey, and don't forget one more thing. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe because we're only 50 away from 5K. We'd really love to hit that mile marker this
that'd
week.
Be nice.
That'd be amazing. So
And,
spread the word, share it
Dragon
with your
Champions.
friends, play Dragon Champions, and subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, promo code Salty.
Promo code Salty for Dragon Champions. Woo!